Hey guys, we are back with video number 2 today, and it is that time. Superior Spider-Man has been released, so now we're going to jump in and do some Professor X testing in the city section and see how it goes. We've got a bunch of teams we're going to be testing today. Obviously, if you do not see a team comp tested that you're interested in seeing, leave it in the comments. I will jump in when I have time, test it, and I will respond and let you know how it works. So with that being said, let's dive in because we have a bunch of teams to test. So let's roll. All right, so we're going to jump in here, and we essentially are going to test the last 3 nodes on each team, okay? And to kind of save time, we're only going to do 1 run with each of these teams. If they fail, obviously I'll give you my opinion on whether or not we could change a little something here or there to change that up. I will tell you, when it comes to size, we're going to back this team out right now, and we'll take a look. Silver Sable, 3 diamond. Hit Monkey, 3 diamond. Vulture is also 3 diamond. Punisher is 3 diamond, which we're going to move right there. And then finally, Superior Spider-Man is 3 red. Because he is only 3 red, we're going to make him a fortifier. Obviously, we would not run him as a fortifier typically, but that is what we're going to do with him being 3 red. Now, with that being said, we will go over Superior Spider-Man's kit as we play through the nodes to give you guys an idea of what we're looking at as far as what his abilities are going to do for the team. So we're going to start out with this team comp here. This team was requested by a viewer. So we're going to jump in and hit this one first. And we have several teams that we are going to be testing out. So let's jump in and get going. Now this first node is, in my opinion, going to be the trickiest because it usually has to do with whether or not you can get Null killed before he takes a turn. Now I will tell you, having Hit Monkey and Silver Sable in here, I don't foresee we're going to have any issues whatsoever. But we're going to test it out and see. All right, so we're going to go ahead and use Vulture's special there. We're going to stay with Null until we kill him. All right, let's go ahead and use Hit Monkey's ult. That should get rid of Null. Perfect, and it did. All right, we are going to hone in on Red Goblin. There's going to be another one dropping, and we definitely don't want to have to deal with 2. All right, we're just going to go ahead and use this basic here. All right, so let's jump in and take a look at Superior Spider-Man's passive. All right, it is called Identity Theft. On spawn, apply immunity to all Sinister 6 allies. Apply immunity for 2 turns to Self, Vulture, Shocker, and Insidious 6 allies. When an enemy with any negative effect is attacked, heal Self and all Sinister 6 allies for 6% of this character's max health. If this character has 2 Insidious 6 allies and 2 other Sinister 6 allies, fill the speed bar for Self and all Sinister 6 allies by 3%, plus fill an additional 3% speed bar for Self, Vulture, Shocker, and all other Insidious 6 allies. This is going to be very interesting to see if this speed bar fill is for each attack, because a lot of these tunes on this team, especially Goblins, do a bunch of attacks. So we're going to have to see how that affects things. On offense, if this character has 2 Insidious 6 allies and 2 other Sinister 6 allies, lower enemy dodge chance by 100%. All right, let's check out his special. Superior Slinger, attack primary target for 240% damage, plus apply ability block. If this character has 4 Sinister 6 allies, reduce the duration of taunt by 2 on primary target. Rebound chain to 5 adjacent targets for 240% damage in Raid's ability block. Flip all negative effects to positive effects on Self and all Insidious 6 allies. If this character has 2 Insidious 6 allies, flip all negative effects to positive effects on the Sinister 6 allies. Apply Safeguard for 2 turns, Defense up for 1 turn, and 2 evade to Self, Shocker, and Vulture, plus all Insidious 6 allies. Apply Safeguard to all Sinister 6 allies. Heal Self and all Sinister 6 allies for 20% of this character's max health. This attack gains 500% extra focus against hero targets. Alright, also this attack cannot be blocked or counterattacked. Now, with all of that being said, my recommendation most likely is going to be either run him as a healer or as a raider because he is attacking multiple targets at once. Alright, let's go ahead and use his special real quick. Obviously, being 3 red, he's not doing much damage. But he did attack about 16 billion times. Okay, we definitely want to get rid of Red Goblin before he brings back Null. And of course, this was very simplistic. Alright, so that's great. Silver Sable and Hitmonkey make that node extremely easy. Alright, let's jump to the next node. This is the Thanos node. And we are going to continue on with this team. On each of these teams, we will play till they lose or until we beat all 3 nodes, and then we will proceed on to the next team. Because this is already going to be a fairly long video, I don't want to make it 2 hours. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start on Thanos with his special so we can hit all 4 of them. Alright, we're going to go ahead and use her ult. It's going to push Thanos most likely, but that's alright. We should be okay. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get rid of Thanos ASAP. He's gone. Alright, we're going to focus on Gore and get rid of him and probably those 2. Very good. Alright, now we have Kahori to deal with. Let's check out his basic. Spider Bash, attack primary target for 320% damage. In raids, it will generate 1 ability energy for self and all Sinister 6 allies, which will come in very handy there. We are going to go ahead and use his special and get evade and safeguard for him and Vulture. Alright, very good. Let's go ahead and use Vulture's ult. We're going to use her special for now. Alright, very good. Okay, let's go ahead and use Hitmonkey's ult. Should hit her and Thanos. Very good. Let's put a little focus over here on Gore. And now we're going to use her ult. Alright, that pushed Thanos, but we should be okay. Okay, let's get in here with Hitmonkey. Hopefully the striker attack will kill Gore. Very good. Alright, let's go ahead and focus on Surfer. And this should finish it off. Alright, very good. Now, here comes the interesting node. With Spider-Man being so small, this could get a little tricky because Gladiator is going to be tacking continuously. And I have found testing small tunes on this node can be a little bit tricky. So let's jump in and see how it goes. All right. Again, we're going to save ults until he gets down to 50%. And of course, we would prefer that he stays away from Spider-Man. All right, there goes Spider-Man. Okay, let's try that next team that we have. Now, that is going to be kind of one of those things that if you want to use Spider-Man and he does not get targeted, let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to do one more run with this team, because if Spider-Man doesn't get targeted and he gets an opportunity to take a turn, he will be able to put evade on himself and safeguard, which will help him dramatically. But if Gladiator targets him, so he targeted Vulture this time, which is good. Okay. All right, now he gets a turn. That will help get his energy back up, or his health back up, and get safeguard, defense up, and evade. Okay. All right, now, hey, look on the bright side. We get to see his ult. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 350% damage. Apply 2 regeneration for 2 turns and safeguard for 2 turns to self and all Sinister 6 allies. Heal self and all Sinister 6 allies for 25% of this character's max health. Generate 1 ability energy for self and all Sinister 6 allies. Generate an additional 2 special ability energy for self, Vulture, Shocker, and Insidious 6 allies. So we're going to go ahead and use this now because he's essentially not doing any damage anyway. But that will get him some regeneration, get the safeguard back up, and hopefully that will get us where we need to go. We're going to go ahead and use her ult now. We're getting close, and we need to get rid of his positive effects and get him below 50%. Perfect. All right, so now, super simple. Once you get him to below 50%, put it on auto and just let it roll. All right, lost Silver Sable. So it's going to be it's going to be possible to get through there. You may have to reset that a bunch of times with Superior Spider-Man being so small. But if you get the RNG just right, you will get through it. All right, so let's jump back and try the next team. All right, very simply, the next team is swap out Superior Spider-Man for Phantom Rider. He is 4 red, but here, let's see. Yes, 4 red. So he's 4 red, and we're going to run him as a fortifier as well to try to keep him alive. So we're going to go ahead and run through these nodes real quick with him and see how he does. I don't foresee we're going to have any issues on these first 2 nodes because essentially Vulture and Hitmonkey and Silver Sable carry the majority of the load. All right, let's get in here. Obviously, we're going to stick with Null until he's dead. Okay. Get rid of him. All right, let's go ahead and use his ult. Just because it looks cool and I like seeing horses kick people. Okay, that was total absurdity. Oh my goodness. Well, FYI, if Silver Sable gets stunned, you're in trouble. All right, so we're going to move on to the next one. Let's see here. We are going to be using... All right, here we go. We are going to be using Vulture, Green Goblin, Superior Spider-Man, Sable, and Hitmonkey. One thing to note, Goblin is 3 diamond. So just be aware of that. I'll be able to give you an indication of whether or not it really matters if he's that big. I doubt that it does. Probably 7 red you'd probably be okay with. But you're certainly not going to be able to use him with another 3 red Superior Spider-Man. All right. Okay, let's continue on. All right, let's go ahead and get Safeguard and Evade and Defense up on Superior Spider-Man. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and use his ult. All right, I want to see... He has a negative effect, which means this should be giving 3% speed for both of these for every attack. That was pretty cool. That's a pretty cool attack. All right. Obviously, we need to get rid of Red Goblin. He's gone. That's super simple. All right. Let's jump into the next node. I'm very excited to try the full team and see how well they do. Because up until Superior Spider-Man has been released, Scorpion, Goblin, and Vulture and Shocker are useless together. So I'm really hoping that he's going to tie everything together for that team. Oops. Jumped into the wrong node, so let's back out of there and jump into the next one. All right, once again, we're going to target Thanos so we can hit all 4 of them. We should push Thanos. Okay. Not a big deal. All right, let's focus on Kahori. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and get his safeguard up because he's obviously not really going to do much to anybody. All right, we're going to focus over here with Goblin. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of Gore. Very good. Get Sable's ult. And we should take the hit. Oh, no. We may kill him. Nope. We got close. He gone now. Very good. And that'll do it. Okay, let's jump in and try Gladiator again. All right. I hope you guys have as much fun as I do doing this testing. I mean, obviously, I know I'm the one doing the testing, but I hope you guys enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy doing it. Man, I was talking to my wife the other night, and I can't even fathom, but I'm going to say that I have done 3,000 to 4,000 runs in the Professor X saga. At least. Probably closer to 5,000 runs. Like, it's crazy the amount of times that I've been in and out of these nodes. Oh, my goodness. All right, perfect. He targeted Vulture. That's what we want. Okay. Superior Spider-Man will get an opportunity to get his safeguard and defense up. That's great. We're going to save his special. Okay. We're going to go ahead and keep rolling on him until we get him closer to 70%. Okay. Very good. All right, we're in the 70s. Now we're going to go ahead and run with it, get rid of all of his positive effects, and take off. Okay, let's go ahead and do his special. Perfect. Silver Sable's got to stick around, and we should be good. All right, now we're going to put it on auto and see if we outrun him. All right, there we go. That one worked great. No issues at all. All right, so now we are going to jump back to the beginning and start with the next team. And I don't remember what the next team is. All right, let's go back here. Let's jump in. We are now testing. All right, the full team. So I am very interested to see how this is going to work. One thing to note, Shocker is 3 diamonds. Scorpion is 2 diamonds. All right. And on all of my newer tunes, just to give you guys a heads up, all of the newer release tunes, I do all of their T4s. So I know I've had a couple viewers comment that they'd like for me to go over the T4s and stuff, but on these newer tunes, I do every single one of them. All right. Look at that. The newest team cannot beat the city section. All right. So with that being said, here's why. And this is the funny thing. I did a lot of testing with this team in the city section with all four minus the Superior Spider-Man, and they got wrecked on this note every time because they're too slow. Noel goes first, and it's all over from there. So with that being said, I am super surprised that one of the absolute newest teams cannot beat the easiest section in Professor X. But they cannot, because they are way, way, way too slow. So with that being said, let's swap out our buddy Scorpion, who is one of the slowest tunes on planet Earth, and put in Green Goblin and see how this works. Okay, that helped us get some health. But I think it's not going to be enough. They're just too slow. All right. Yep. Okay, so with that being said, I mean, to be super straightforward with you guys, I really think that you need, at the very least, you need Hitmonkey. So we're going to swap this out. Okay, we're going to leave Scorpion out, and we're going to throw in Hitmonkey. And we're going to see if this changes anything. Okay, let's go ahead and get some safeguard up. All right. Okay. Now, Hitmonkey's turn. We should get rid of Noel. Very good. And let's just go ahead and basic there. Yeah. All done. Okay. So with that being said, you do have some options in here. I think you can pretty much use any of the new team members. But what I'm coming across here is you really need Hitmonkey and Silver Sable. At the very least, I think you can build a team with any of these guys around it. So let's throw Silver Sable in here. Yeah, obviously you can use Blade, you can use Oath. Hobgoblin's not going to have any trouble working. Big Time Spider-Man will work. I've already tested it. Yeah, Black Cat, Mysterio. I don't think you're going to have any issues, but the main thing to note, you need Silver Sable and you need Hitmonkey to get through the Knoll. Because if you don't have them, then you are not going to be able to get ahead of Knoll, and you're going to be in a bad way. Let's throw Big Time in here and try this real quick. All right. We're going to stick with Knoll. All right, and this should get rid of Knoll, and essentially that is going to give you the capability to get through this without any issues. Okay, let's go ahead and get Safeguard and Defense up and Evade on him and Vulture. Okay. Get rid of Red Goblin. And it's pretty much all downhill from here. So yeah, this is the node right here that will dictate the team that you use. Because if you can't get ahead of Knoll, he's going to kill your whole entire team. So essentially, my recommendation here is you need Hitmonkey, Silver Sable. Past that, you've got multiple options. You can use Vulture, you can use Hobgoblin, Blade, Oath, Shocker, Punisher, Scorpion. But the main thing is you need to have Silver Sable and Hitmonkey. They are going to give you the capability to get ahead and stay ahead of Knoll. So with that being said, hope you guys had some fun. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, obviously, if you have any team comps that I didn't test and you're interested, let me know. I'll jump in and try it out, and I'll let you know whether or not it works. With that being said, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up if you got some value. Hit that subscribe if you have not. Ring that notification bell so you get notified as soon as I drop a new video. Share this video with your friends and alliance mates if you think it can give them some value. And until the next video, guys, stay positive and enjoy the game.